Here we have a video by Jesse Lee Peterson titled Men Today Have No Need for the Modern Woman. It's pretty much just him and two other guys complaining about how intelligent women are and that men need unintelligent or uneducated women in order to be able to control them because educated women want jobs outside the home. Uneducated women, you can force them to stay home and be a slave in all ways.
And so the other day, I was talking about, I was saying that I don't know why a man would marry a woman these days, especially an educated woman, whether she's educated with the Bible, with the Word. In the beginning, there was the Word was God, the God was the Word, and God is the Word. The Bible is the Word of God, right? Or secular education. I don't know why a man, and it's in the man's natural nature to want for the right thing, to want to love God with all his heart, soul, and might, and to be his son.
Okay. So it's in men's nature to want the things that are right, and somehow women with an education are not right, according to Jesse Lee Peterson.
And to want to be married and start a family. But nowadays, I don't see why men, and I mentioned this, and it's on my Instagram post. That's why I'm bringing it up, because of some of the responses that I read about it. I don't know why a man would marry a woman today, especially an educated woman, whether with the Bible or without the Bible, educated with secular education, right? Because women don't cook, they don't iron, they don't sew, they don't want to stay home and take care of the children, they don't want to make a meal, they don't want to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, so according to Jesse Lee Peterson, the women of today's world aren't household slaves to the men, which is what women are supposed to be, household slaves. And so that's why men today shouldn't marry women, either religiously or non-religiously. It's this just goes to show what type of person Jesse Lee Peterson is. He prefers a woman that has no education whatsoever, so that the woman can be used as as a slave. Nothing more, nothing less.
They are the vice president of the man. They watch over his children, his home. They make sure everything runs well while he's away providing. And when he get home, the vice president report to the president what happens. And if he needs to discipline the children or whatever, he would take care of it.
No. Uh, the people are equal partnerships in relationship. It is not the man is a man, so he gets to control the woman, and the woman is the woman, so she just has to expect the man to do whatever they want. Um, in reality, it's an equal partnership between both the couple, and people got to make a mutual agreement as to what goes on in the household.
But educated women, whether they're educated with the word, in the beginning, that was the word, or secular, they don't make for good wives. It's like when you get with a woman now and you happen to marry her, it's just for sex. All that. And if she's educated, even the sex is boring.
Ooh, I think that's a pretty telling sign on Jesse Lee Peterson's part. Um, he wants to control women, and the fact that an educated woman doesn't want to be controlled in the bedroom, he's going to find the sex to be boring.
Because you got to be, are you okay? Is this movement right? Am I working too fast here or too slow? You got to talk them through it, you know?
Oh, whoa, okay, that's why he finds sex with an educated woman boring, because you got to talk to them and ask them if they like what you're doing or what you could do that they would actually enjoy, and instead of just treating them like some piece of meat that the man just gets to fuck and leave. So Jesse is now saying he wants an uneducated wife so that they can be used as a sex toy.
And so, Joel, I believe, posted this, and Chris posted this on Instagram. And there was this one response that I had to respond to. It was a woman who said that, in part, that I'm going to let Chris is here. Chris is my social media guy. And he white. I mean, like really white. The way James used to be white when James first started working with us. Now James is black.
Whoa, that's a weird comment to make. This guy was white when he started working with us, and now he's black. Though, with Jesse Lee Peterson's belief on black people, why would you want more black people working at your company when they're nothing but evil people and they hate everybody? It's kind of weird in my opinion.
The Havy boy.
Good morning.
Oh, morning, sir. And so, one thing that the woman said was, I'm a spirit-filled woman. Whenever they tell you that, you better head for the hills.
So, if a Christian woman tells you that they're a Christian, don't don't date them or get in a relationship with them. I find this to be quite interesting that Jesse Lee Peterson now wants to badmouth Christian women when it used to only be liberal women or secular women because they didn't believe in God or were Christians. And now Jesse Lee Peterson is bad-mouthing Christian women because they're too smart.
Listen, guys, whatever woman tell you she's a spirit-filled woman, shake your head and run west. She said, did she say Christian spirit-filled? I'm going to let Chris tell me. But, and then she went on to say, what's going to happen if I turn 40 and the guy decides to leave and I don't have, what was her response to that?
Yeah,
First?
that little section,
Yeah.
she basically was saying that, oh, once we get older, my man's just going to run away with some younger chick anyways.
A spirit-filled woman saying this, right?
Yeah.
And what does she say about her 4K?
So after, in her mind, or maybe this happened to her in real life, after that scenario where the husband runs away with the younger chick, she then says, oh, because I haven't been working, I have no 401k, I have no savings, I have no job. So what am I going to do then? You know, what's going to happen to me then?
If that,
They're laughing about that scenario, even though that's the kind of scenario that would be happening all the time in a world that Jesse Lee Peterson wants to create, because women won't have a source of income outside of the household, and if a husband decides to leave the wife for somebody younger, which happens a lot, especially in a society that worships beauty and youth above all. That's something, and you know, even in the past, when the United States was a bit more Christian, you had husbands all the time leaving their wives for younger people. Christian men doing this, mind you.
That should happen to her.
Right.
Now, this is coming from the spirit-filled woman. The first thing that went through my mind when she said spirit-filled woman, Christian spirit-filled woman, something like that, I thought of Oprah. I'm like, this must be one of Oprah kind of women.
I'm sure she loves Oprah. I mean,
This must be an Oprah kind of woman. Uh, what, a woman that is opinionated, hardworking, dedicated, intelligent. Um, it seems like Jesse Lee Peterson thinks that the only purpose of a woman in society is to live inside the house and take care of the kids and be a slave. And this is how Christianity sees women. In all actuality, if you read the Bible and stuff, women are supposed to be submissive and do everything that the man wants because it's God, it's God, Jesus, man, then woman, then the kids. So in his society, and the society that he wants to create, all women will be slaves. And as I was saying, this is how Christianity is. It's a belief system that looks to subjugate all other groups of people besides Christian males.
because Oprah is one of the most spiritual out there.
And so I responded by saying, yeah, you're a spirit-filled woman, all right, but you see my response?
Yeah, it says, what'd you say? That you're filled with like the wrong spirit or
Yeah,
something.
but which spirit are you with?
Right. The darkness instead of the light.
Yeah.
It's funny how this extremely hateful, racist, misogynistic Christian acts like he is the only person that is able to dictate who is religious and who isn't. They're trying to claim that this chick is not a Christian, but some kind of person possessed with an evil spirit.
And then she responded to that.
Let's see. Oh, she said God is her husband.
Oh, yeah.
So that's seals the deal. I mean, she got you, Jesse.
Ooh. God is your husband, so you really want to marry
She
that
said
one.
prior to that, she said like when you said like you're on an ego trip, you're your own problem.
Yeah.
She said like, oh, you're answering just like a man.
That's right. Oh, God. And then she blocked me, right?
Yeah, she blocked you. Unfortunately, I don't know what the problem is.
She didn't want to hear the truth. That spirit-filled Christian woman.
I guess not, but
What truth are you talking? Or are you saying is that this person is evil because they claim to be Christian, and since they're a woman and claiming to be Christian, that in some way makes her evil? He doesn't actually give an actual reason as to why this person he was responding to is a bad person, besides the fact that she claims to be filled with the spirits.
I had to look at her profile, and the first thing that it says in her bio is that she's single.
I rest my case. I rest my case.
Right, coming from an absentee father, Jesse Lee Peterson has a kid, and he had a wife or a girlfriend who he had a baby with. Not married, I don't believe, which is funny because he talks about how bad it is for people to marry out of wedlock. Uh, what women are sluts and men are slut makers who do that. So this absentee father who is a slut maker and single wants to laugh at a person for being single.
So I guess, maybe there was some truth to her story. I guess her man left her for a younger woman, and fortunately,
Did she said that her man did that, or what if a man do that?
She said, "Okay, I've had it done to me more than once."
Oh, no wonder they done ran away from the Christian spirit-filled woman.
How could a man want to run away from that?
I'm telling you.
What kind of man is that? My goodness.
What kind of Christian is a man that abandons his wife or spouse for another person? It's interesting how they're blaming this woman for everything when it's more than likely both.
And she's an older lady.
Yeah. If it's happened to her more than once.
Singer, yeah. Amazing. What's your impression of that whole thing there?
Well, if you watch your video, I guess it is kind of the female response to answer very emotionally.
Yeah.
But clearly, she felt personally attacked because, you're talking about marriage and why would a man even want to get married? And it sounds like she's been through a situation where, as she lays out, like, oh, I was married and then my man left me and...
My man don't love me.
Yeah, I guess not. But again, it's like, well, why did you get involved with a guy who's just going to leave you for a younger chick?
Wow, more victim blaming here. Why would you leave a guy? Why would you marry a guy that would leave you for a younger chick? That's a good question. Though, you gotta realize that nobody dates a person and, or marries a person and is like, oh, this guy is going to leave me for another chick. Usually, when you marry somebody, it's because you love them and they've told you they love you. So, this right here is just victim blaming. Christian men can do no wrong, while Christian women are always in the wrong. And don't be an educated Christian woman because you're doubly wrong because you're educated and you claim to be a Christian.
They never tell the truth about what they do. It's always about the other guy, what the guy did.
Yeah.
They don't say, you know what, he couldn't handle me. I was a B. He couldn't handle that.
I was a spirit-filled woman.
Spirit-filled Christian.
Okay, so I see when they're using the phrase spirit-filled woman, it's not that they're a Christian filled with the Holy Spirit, but something bad. I get it now. They're using like spirit-filled to stand in for like bitch or whore or slut or whatever.
Amazing. I've heard horror stories from men who have gone to church and married or dated or got involved with a woman at church. It's hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's hell. I haven't seen it at my church yet, but prior to starting my church, there are horror stories I know about.
Right.
And these women would be at church lifting up holy hands. Praise the Lord, brother.
Right.
How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? And you think they're so nice, and these guys hook up with them and catch pure hell.
Right, exactly.
Pure hell.
Yeah. Well, because they're just...
Well, I mean, people are people. Women are people, even though these people here don't feel that women are people. Women are people, and they do have emotions and stuff, and sometimes insecurities surface when you're in a relationship, which sometimes people don't deal with in the healthiest of ways, both men and women, because it's just something that happens.
Just still, they're still very emotional. They're not really much different than any other woman that doesn't go to church or something
Yeah.
like that.
They didn't do what Mary did, the mother of Jesus. Remember when God told Mary that, Mary,
Also, Mary, the woman who showed emotion when Jesus was dying.
you're going to have a baby. The father called her, right? And she's like, but I'm not married. I can't have a baby. Like, don't worry about it. Daddy got you. She's like, okay, Dad, I'll do it. So she was called and she was accepted.
And she picked up.
And
Well, actually, being that she was an unmarried, uh, either preteen or young teen virgin, she really didn't have a choice in either getting with Joseph or being impregnated by God if such an event were to be considered true. So it's not she didn't pick up. She didn't get called and answered. She was forced to do all this. Back in the around the time that Jesus supposedly lived, um, uh, teenage mothers or unwed mothers were not actually looked upon kindly, as according to the Old Testament, uh, women who are uh, unmarried or unwedded and have sex are to be stoned to death. So,
she obeyed the father. She was chosen. She was called and chosen because she returned to the father. She obeyed the father. Women don't obey the fathers anymore.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's the thing. They're like, oh, I'm equal to a man.
Yeah.
So,
There's so many.
I'm equal to a man, so, Wow, okay, yep. These two people prove right here that they consider women to be non-class citizens or second-class citizens. They're gonna want women to be something that isn't equal in status to a man, so that the men can lord some type of control over women. It's one reason why these types of people hate women having bodily autonomy, because that means women have control over something and not the men.
The preachers, women out there that some are married and their husbands are catching hell in the home.
right.
And they may not come out and let it know because you can't let you know you're catching hell for your preacher wife. But it's a mess in the homes. The hardest woman for a Christian man to be married to is a Christian woman.
Right.
It's hard enough without the Christian woman, but it's harder with a Christian woman. I've heard the horror stories.
So I wonder. Okay, so Jesse doesn't really like marrying Christian women. He doesn't like the idea of secular women, nor them actually existing. He doesn't like the idea of men marrying. So I guess Jesse's gonna stay unmarried forever, even though he believes that men should be marrying because it's godly, but don't marry a Christian woman. I guess I don't know. It's kind of hard to make sense of his beliefs on marriage.
I'm not making it up.
Yep.
Joel, you read some of the comments. You posted that, right? You and Chris?
You posted it.
Oh, I posted it.
We're all you here.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, most of the women, to be honest, and I don't know how many women actually do believe that, but most of the women were agreeing with you.
I saw some of the agreement, absolutely.
And especially the older ones who, kind of been through it and they know what it's like.
Yes.
So
The older generation who are more entrenched with the older ideas of Christianity and American lives, where the woman did stay inside the home and just work and basically be a slave. Yes, those types of people would definitely agree. Not probably not all of them of that generation, but if you grew up believing it, you're gonna pretty much stick to the similar beliefs as you grow older. And in my opinion, it's due to the sunk cost fallacy, where you put so much energy into it already. You're not gonna give it up, even if you know, even if you are presented evidence that it's wrong, which the idea of women being slaves to men is a totally wrong idea.
there's people who around there, around who actually do believe you.
Yeah. I saw some of the posts of older women who like, yeah, this man's right. Blah, blah, blah. So I do appreciate that because what the girls need to know, you can't do like the guys do and still be a lady.
Right.
You can't do like the guys do and still be a lady, which they're going to end up saying, which is getting an education, getting a job, earning money, being independent, as well as being out in society, because you're only supposed to live in the house, take care of the kids, clean, and get fucked when the husband is horny.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main problems nowadays is you've got men and women, their trajectory is the same. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, men and women go to school, then go to college, then get a job, and by doing that, I mean, you're like you say, you're just gonna catch hell because
Yeah.
it's just they're not the same, so they shouldn't be doing the same things. They need to be, the boy needs to become a man, the girl needs to become a woman,
Yes.
as opposed to, again, the trajectory being exactly the same. And
So they can't take the same trajectory of school, college, job. Because school, college, job, that's the man's thing to do, which just leaves the woman of being uneducated, jobless, and dependent upon the man.
and realistically, neither are really becoming what they should be. Like,
They women don't understand, and some of the millennial men now are beginning to understand who are waking up that the purpose on earth is to allow love to God to use you to create love through you, right? But it got to come through God, through Christ, through the man, to the woman. And in that, you come together, husband and wife, if you want a family. If not, you will influence others out of the darkness into the light, those who are seeking. And that's the purpose, especially for the man, to bring love into the earth.
It's funny that he says that's the purpose when he's an unmarried man trying to tell people what to do as a married couple or pretty much anything whatsoever. Um, he's like the worst person to get advice from.
Because when the man don't have it, it can't come because it's not in the woman.
right.
I think there's not a lot of women who are speaking to each other about the role of women, for one. And I think that there's not a lot of men who are enforcing it and using that authority to, put that into women.
There's not enough women telling other women that they're slaves to men and are second-class citizens, and there's not enough men forcing women to be their slaves. That's what he is saying.
because you talk about it, but mostly you're rebuilding men, women too, but your mission is mostly
Rebuilding the family by rebuilding
the
the
man.
man.
Yeah. So
It's
the
okay
women.
to be a man. And by the way, it's Man History Month. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Again, Jesse Lee Peterson is a unmarried man who has a child and left his wife, yet he's rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, but he has no family of his own.
little plug. But most of the time, they don't really hear this. So I think it's men's job to really help women understand what their role is, because they're missing it. And it's because they don't know how to deal with that proper spirit. Because the women are turned around with that ego, working because it's been taught for so long that
Yeah.
men literally have to be strong and not just say it, but have that true authority to help them overcome that, because it's rampant how women are trying to be like men now.
No. Women are not trying to be like men. Women just realize that they don't have to be slaves to men and decided to fight for greater independence. Um, the that such ideas shake these people's types of their foundation, and it induces a lot of anxiety. So then they got to go and scream and shout on social media about how bad women are because they know they're losing control and they don't truly have anything to offer women but abuse.
Yeah, but it would never work. And I notice the men who say, "Oh, I'm the head of my wife," and then they start quoting scriptures to me. I know they ain't the head of their wife.
Yeah.
Because you must be born again. The only way this is going to happen with the power and authority of love is that you must be born again of the Spirit of God. And any man that believes that you could be a sinner after you're born again, his wife rules. His woman rule, his children rule, they're out of control. Because he has excuses for sinning and all kind of stuff. Any other comment?
Uh, I doubt Jesse Lee Peterson can. Well, he will probably claim that he is, but uh, you can more than likely find a lot of things that he's talked about that could be considered a sin according to the Bible, like hatred for other people, which according to the Bible is the same as murder.
Comment about in those posts, Joe?
Well, you did say something about the Christian women, how it's so hard for Christian women.
Yes.
It's that knowledge of good and evil.
Yes.
Because as soon as they know what right is, they're going to try to live up to. And guys do this too, but could you imagine how worse it is for women?
Whoa, okay, it's bad for women because of the knowledge of good and evil. When women know what is right, it's just not, it's evil. So that means they want basically a sheltered, naive person to be in a relationship with, because that means the person, the male, can do whatever they want, and because the woman doesn't know any difference, they're going to accept what that male does as correct because it's the only thing they've experienced. So if that person is abusive, that woman will think that what the behavior is okay, and will assume that, all relationships, the males, beat them and rape them and do and various other horrible things. Um, it's disturbing the type of women that these people claim uh, should be the women that men marry. No, you need educated women, educated men. Uh, you need people that know the difference between right and wrong, so that they can stand up when they are abused.
Is that they try to live up to what the Bible says is right, and they won't be honest with self about what the honest truth.
They will quote the Bible like cow coming home. And yet just an evil and mean with it, doing secret stuff behind your back and lying to you and all kind of game.
Wow. So that's why you shouldn't marry a Christian woman, because they will quote the Bible and they will know right and wrong according to the Bible, which also means that if a Christian man does something against uh, the Bible, the women will be able to call them out for that.
But they can quote the Bible. They can dress like a church woman.
Right, right. Well, what I think what's going on there is they sort of put themselves into a position of authority because they know the Bible. They try to do that, but it's
Right.
like, oh, I'm a church going woman. I am a lady, but I do know the Bible, and so I'm gonna quote the scriptures, and I'm gonna tell women, here's what you need to do, and then they tell men what to do as well.
And then the women were.
Oh yeah, I did forget that there are parts of the Bible that do say that women should submit to men and be silent in the church and only ask questions in the household. So when women are at church and they're talking about the Bible and quoting it, that upsets these fine, upstanding, Christian loving men, because, women aren't supposed to be talking in church.
Argue with the Christian women will argue with the Christian men about the Bible. They act like they know the Bible more than the man.
Right.
I'm like, what the? Where's the obeying the man? And you up there
Right.
quoting the scripture like now they're going no.
They're trying to lead men. It's like, don't you understand?
All in the name of Jesus. A mess.
What a
But it
mess.
was amazing.
Well, there you have it, guys. According to Jesse Lee Peterson, don't marry Christian women because Christian women are evil. Don't marry educated women because educated women are evil. The only type of woman you should marry is a uneducated woman with no job and doesn't know anything about the world whatsoever.